It looks like they're targeting blue urban areas. New postal service plan is setting off election alarms. You can drop off your mail-in ballot at your local polling place in CA, at least if you don't trust the USPS upper management. Any other old-timers out there remember when Putin did this like 10, 15 years ago, after his first or second term? My memory is pretty hazy, but this shit seems eerily familiar to the vote rigging that was being reported going on over there at that time. How can this election fraud not be a crime? Why can nothing be done? What kind of failed state is the USA that a bad president can wantonly appoint his criminal minions to positions of power and then have them interfere with justice and the very democratic foundations of the country? And other than reporting it in the news and moaning about it on social media, it isn't stopped, no charges are laid, no one is removed from the position they are abusing, their acts of abuse are not reversed. Alarmed by what she saw as potential delivery slowdowns, she perused the list of designated sites and their zip codes and began to see a pattern, that the tests were being conducted in areas that affected more residents in urban centers than those in smaller towns and rural households. This suggested a possible political tilt, given the voting patterns of people living in large cities versus small towns. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that these slowdowns are in blue areas. It's an attack on the popular vote count. God, I fucking hate Republican politicians so much. Edit. The voters are the problem. I feel some sympathy with Republican voters. Their media is a scam. The leader of their party is a con artist. Their elected officials see them as marks. Their politicians keep passing laws that make their voters' lives worse. Like, God forbid you're a sane, rational Republican who believes in objective reality and evidence-based solutions, you've got no party right now, none. You believe in states' rights, fiscal responsibility, conservation, strong foreign policy, any of those things. Sucks to be you right now, because there is nobody in your party voting in favor of your interests. And don't get me wrong, I understand that this is a problem of their own design, I dig that, but the fact of the matter is that the voters have made these decisions based on wrong information. Do you know how deceptive and dishonest right-wing media is? It's an echo chamber filled to bursting with propaganda and nonsense. Of course people are going to make wrong decisions if they're given bad information. Tell a person, hey, metal isn't conductive, it's perfectly safe to stick a fork in an electrical outlet. In fact, the survival of your family might depend on you sticking a fork in an electrical outlet. You know Democrats don't want you to stick a fork in an electrical outlet, they think you're stupid, but we all know it's safe, so go ahead and do it. Sticking forks in electrical outlets is patriotic. And do you think their chances of sticking a fork in an electrical outlet increase, decrease, or stays the same? Republicans are being scammed, they've been scammed for decades now. They've been lied to, misled, conned, deceived, misinformed, and the result is that they go to the polls and vote against their own best interests, because gun rights, banning abortion, states' rights, forced busing, cutting taxes, all those purely economic and abstract things. I do feel bad for Republican voters, because they've been getting royally fucked over by their own political party for my entire life. Focus on swing states. That's the strategy. If Trump can cheat in just a few key states, he can again cheat his way to a win. We need to focus on the mail sorting machines being removed from swing states. Live in Trump country. Asked a postal clerk today if they had encountered any of this hassle, and he responded that our PO had no trouble at all. One thing these people seem to misunderstand about how mail processing works is that ultimately most mail and packages get routed through the large centers that happen to be in blue urban areas. Just like internet traffic has to get through those, urban areas because that's where the main nodes happen to be, built there because that's where most people are. It's not as mail goes from bumfuck, Alabama to Coal Town, Wyoming in 1 or 2 hop. There are steps in between that ultimately route through the blue urban areas because that's where most of the economic activity is. This will not impact all rural mail but likely most of it. And I'm pretty sure the devious masterminds behind this plan do not understand this point, how transportation logistics actually work and that the rural areas aren't connected to one another without skipping through them urban places. It's like those pipe dreams of cutting food to the cities and how it would somehow cripple them. Which, yeah, but it would also cripple the rural areas big time of basically everything else, never mind that it would never actually happen but whatever. LARPing is for fun. Don't LARP with people's lives. They are cheating in August, no more no less. I for one don't believe one word that the current Postmaster General said. He has crippled the post office just enough so that it will be unable to process the mail-in votes. This man is totally corrupt. Mask up and vote in person. We must band together and get him out. Edit, since this is getting a little attention, make sure to check your registration status here, https://www. Vote.gov/. You don't want to show up to the polls and be turned away. Why is there no UN observers like in other countries to make sure the election is fair? DeJoy was so dishonest. We all know that mail is being badly delayed. Right now. That is because DeJoy ended overtime and removed 671 mail sorters. His claim is that it had no impact. That makes no sense. Mail was fine until he came in. He made changes and it went to hell. Of course, we cannot handle the mail now. What will happen when the mail-in ballots start to flow? He says they have the capacity for it. They don't have the capacity to keep up now. He is taking out sorters now. It just makes no sense. He lied. If you saw me out on the streets protesting, would that be enough for you to join me? To anyone on this thread that works in the Postal Service, please stand up for democracy. Please say something if you know it's wrong. Don't let the apathy of others drag you down further. We the people see you. We're buying stamps, we're protesting, we're leaving you notes on your routes. Why? Because we super give a fuck. Thank you postal workers, now and always, you are essential. This is a coup. Republicans are active terrorists. Some people need to be thrown in prison over this. Looking more and more to me like he knows he's losing, so the effort is to delay blue votes so that he can have the lead on election night and declare an early victory. They have the Supreme Court. You better hope the Reds vote with the law and not as a thank you for the appointment. I can't believe I just typed that sentence. I know it's mostly for legal reasons, but I really wish politicians and the media would stop using qualifiers and sugarcoating so much. It looks like they're rigging the election equals they are rigging the election. We're headed towards fascism equals welcome to fascism. Trump tweeted a false fact equals Trump lied. These are real things that are happening and they deserve strong words of urgency, not caution and nuance. No shit. If only someone could have predicted that these changes are targeted. I seem to remember long lines in the past couple elections and the reasoning being that in-person voting locations had been reduced due to the expectation that more people would vote by mail. Now that's not an option and I promise there are no plans to bring back those voting locations. Trump is not serving another term. Americans will not allow it. This will never stop unless DeJoy is removed.